I was a little kid, I think sometimes that's when you get chosen for whatever it is that you're going to do. So I'm going to say a real quick poem that I remember. I wrote it because I remember something from when I was 3 years old and hanging out with my daddy. When I was a little girl, I was my daddy's world. I would run with him slides and jungle gyms. He would swing me, and one day I think he was thinking. He stopped the swing, reached down and lifted me, and then he stood me up on that high part and stepped back, reached out both of his arms, and he said, "Step out, come to me, don't look down. I know it feels scary, but if you just remember I love you, that's all. Your daddy's here, and I'm going to catch you. I won't let you fall." And he never let me fall. I think believing in my daddy gave him strength. And that's the magic of 3. They believe. They believe. There is a Native American group. I don't know who they are, or whether they're the Chickasaw or Wichita, I don't know. But they call their babies the new people. And that's what they are. They are the new people. They are the people who come into the world and make us better. They are what you really want a community to be. That's what a 3-year-old does. They're past the no. They're past the terrible twos of wait a minute, I'm a person. I don't have to do what you told me to do. And once they get past that, then they start looking around and seeing their world and exploring it. And I'm gonna hit on some, my friends, when I stopped teaching for a little while, went and did some middle management pretend stuff, and I went back into the classroom. And some of my friends were a little disappointed. They said, "Oh no, well, we're glad you're doing what you really were called to do." And I said, "Well, what's going on? Why are you disappointed?" They said, "Well, Carol, you have temper tantrums when you teach 3-year-olds. And that's when I realized the influence that the kids have on me. So I guess it's easy for me to talk about how they inspire me now. Now that I've gotten past the temper tantrum part, I can say they're simple. They've broken the whole world down to the lowest common denominator. You're sad, you're mad, you're happy, you're hungry, you're sleepy. Make up your mind, it's one of those things, all right? Get off the therapist's couch, stop trying to figure it out. If you are sad, we'll give you a hug. It's simple stuff, Maybe you need one of those little sugary drinks, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Go take a little sip and then get on with your life and stop worrying about all the complicated, ins and outs and stuff. I love that about 3-year-olds. They teach me that. They love to please. They love to make you happy. That's just a big deal to them. And if our motivation, as big people, was like the new people, to make other people happy, if we could get that selfless, I think it would be, what's Louis Armstrong's song? I say to myself, what a wonderful world. Right. 3-year-olds love stories. They love the magic of the stories. They believe that the puppets are like, you don't have to pretend to be a ventriloquist, because you really aren't. You can move your lips, and they're not looking at you. They're looking at the puppet. You can say, "Hi, my name is Leah." You don't even have to put on one of those fake voices. They just believe that thing is moving, and it's got to be real. It's something real about it. Even when the 4-year-olds in the class pull the covers back and say, "That's your hand in there, Miss Betts," the 3-year-olds say, "Yeah, but it's Leo the lion." It's her hand, but it's Leo. And the I don't care what's going on around me, I'm gonna believe anyway. That inspires me. Because how many times have I needed that? I don't care what's going on around me. I was just talking to Fern. This is the school that I'm at now. It's Minor Elementary School. the first time since I've been working for DC Public Schools, and I've been working for DC Public Schools since the early 90s, first time I've ever been in an environment where if there are 10 people in a room, 6 of them believe it's going to happen, no matter what's going on. 4 of them are jaded, and they've been there a long time, and they don't really care. That's okay. But 6 of them believe in it. And I don't have to stand there anymore by myself and say, come on guys, we can get this done. It's for the kids. I've got other people now, who can say that. But before that, how many times have I needed to believe in it no matter what's going on around me? 3-year-olds taught me that. I think the most important thing that 3-year-olds taught me, I remember a day, the kids put me on timeout sometimes, and that's okay. Sometimes Miss Beth misbehaves. Sometimes I misbehave on purpose to teach a lesson. I like to believe that it's always that noble, but it's not. Sometimes I just misbehave. And the kids catch me, and they say, Miss Beth, I think you need to sit down. You can lay down on my mat. And they'll give me their mat, which is okay. So I lay down there. And in every mixed class I've been in, the 4-year-olds do it, and it's vindication. And I'll come back and get you, don't worry. I'll leave you there only for a little while. But the 3-year-olds come and get on the mat with me all the time. That's always happened. If I'm sitting in the timeout chair, we have that, or they make up one because they learned that from someplace, I sit there and the 3-year-olds come around me and they suffer with me, And if I have fake tears, they give me real tissues, and they are forgiving, and they're loving, and they're supportive. They teach me to be forgiving, loving, and supportive because they are. And I think the most important thing about 3-year-olds is that they don't have cell phones. No money, no bills. It's a beautiful world. Earns 100%. All right. Most important thing about them for me is that, like in that poem, they believe in me. They make me a better person. They think I'm a good person. When I make mistakes, they forgive me. But beyond forgiving me, they believe that I'll do better. That when they look at me, they see something perfect. Flaws and all. They see something perfect. They have the ability to unconditionally love a person that you only find in like golden retrievers or something like that. But they can talk and they walk and they can express it in words that you can understand it. Even if I don't speak fluent pre-K, I understand when they're talking to me and they believe in me. So in closing, my whole life has been enriched so by 3-year-olds, and this isn't just hype, I really mean this. I think it's one of the reasons why the spring and the summer are not my favorite seasons. I've always loved the fall. I've always loved the winter, because that's when the world begins to me. That's when I meet them. And when we start to build that community. And when we have to sit down in a circle because somebody's crying and we have to talk about how we don't want this level of sadness in our community and what can we do to make our world a better place. And that's what 3-year-olds have taught me, to make my world a better place.